All right. Thank you, everybody. If this is the first time you're visiting me, thank you for coming to my YouTube channel. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you for trusting me and welcome. As a way of introduction, I am JB, as my friends do call me. I'm a Scrum Master, Agile Consultant, and today we'll be talking about what kind of technical background do you need in order to become a Scrum Master? Because a lot of people have been asking me that question. Do I need to be a software engineer? Do I need to be a programmer? I don't have any background in Scrum, any background in IT. Can I be a Scrum Master? The good news is, yes, you can be a Scrum Master, no matter your background, even if you are an economist, even if you are, an office manager, even if you are whatever it is, you can be a Scrum Master as far as you have one thing, just one thing, and that is passion to help people. If you have passion to help people, then today, this content is for you. All right, so I'm going to pull up my board and then we can look at some of the hard skills or technical background in order to become a Scrum Master. All right, let's go. Okay, so when I mean hard skills, I mean some of the requirements in order to flourish and become an efficient Scrum Master. Hard skill also talks about the core foundational skills, in Scrum and Agile. So when you hear hard skills, don't freak out. So I'm just going to walk you through so you can really understand what I mean by hard skills. The first thing you need to know is the knowledge of Agile and Scrum. I do believe that whoever is going into military should understand the act of war. So the same applies to Scrum. You need to understand what Agile is, you need to understand what Scrum is, and how to implement it in an Agile environment or on the product your team is working. Again, you need to understand the different Scrum ceremonies. You need to understand what to do at each point in time, and those have to deal with having a deep knowledge about Agile and Scrum. There are two basically, I mean, there are lots of other Scrum institutions that are Scrum or Agile institutions that offer certifications, but I would recommend Scrum Alliance, scrum.org. These are huge giant institutions that offer certifications. But if you're looking for a place to get trained, to get drilled in terms of Scrum and Agile, I would encourage you to visit www.ineedscrummaster.com, and then you get trained for 6 weeks, and at the end you get certified to become a Scrum Master. The second thing you need in terms of hard skills is about the organizational familiarity. You need to understand what the products, the company you're going to work with, what they are producing. Is it about software? Is it about, what is it? Right? Is it building apps? What really are they into? You need to understand so that you can know how to help. Because what summarizes what a Scrum Master does is helping to deliver value. The third thing you need is to have a deep knowledge about some of the project management tools that Scrum Masters use: Jira, Azure DevOps, Confluence, ZenHub, Trello. Every organization determines what they're going to use, put into perspective the team composition, right? You need to, I'm not saying that you should be a Jira administrator. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying you need to have like more than the basic knowledge of Jira, Confluence, and ZenHub, so that you can know how to use it to first facilitate and even create issues. By issues, I mean creating tickets, in Jira and Azure DevOps. You need to familiarize yourself on how to capture metrics. At the end of every sprint, Scrum Master most of the times give what is called a sprint report. Sprint report is about how did the team perform within that sprint or iteration, if it is in Kanban. So did they fall below their velocity, or did they improve in terms of their velocity? How many user stories did they commit to? Did they finish? Did they have like carryover, incomplete? Stuff like that, right? You need to give that, plot those graphs. The good news is, if you know how to run queries, if you're using Azure DevOps, then you can know how to capture that. But in Jira, as soon as the sprint starts, Jira automatically calculates that for you, and then you don't need to do. All you need to do is just to go to the Jira, to the to the metrics, and then capture the burn down chart, the burn up chart, the velocity. You need to understand also the software development life cycle. What is the workflow? I mean, in order to understand the workflow, you need to understand the software development life cycle. This is outside of the scope for this content, but you need to understand that in software development life cycle, you have the analysis stage, you have the designing stage, you have the development stage, you have the testing stage, you have the deployment stage, you have the production, you need to understand deployment to production and maintenance, right? So that you can know when the developers are talking or when they are interacting, you need to understand what really are they talking about. And then you have a bonus point. If you understand programming language like C++, Python, and all of those things, right, it's going to help you to really understand what really developers are talking about. But you don't need to get into that if you don't have that capacity. One huge advantage of it is that if you are a programmer and you are transitioning into Scrum, right, it's going to help you to really engineer conversation, but it also has its own drawbacks. As a Scrum Master, you don't concern yourself with coding, right? I don't concern myself with coding. I avoid it entirely because, sometimes it makes it to kind of be a decisive factor for the developers. Developers are self-organized. You let them decide on how they are going to work, right? If you understand code repositories like GitHub and GitLab, it's a huge plus, right? If you have a development background, it's a huge plus. But if you don't have this background, as far as you have a deep knowledge of Agile and Scrum and how to implement, you understand the products that your company or your developers or your team members are working on, you know how to use the softwares, you understand how to capture the Scrum metrics, and you understand software development lifecycle. Believe me, you're going to do excellently well, if there is something like excellently well in terms of Scrum and Agile. All right, so that's where I'm going to stop for today. So for most people who have been asking me that, do I need to become, do I need to have this and that, that I don't have background in IT? Exactly, you don't need to bother yourself. As far as you have the passion to help people, as far as you can go through this list I just walked us through, you can do well in Scrum and Agile. Please like this content, share it on your social media platform, refer your friends about ineedscrummaster.com, I Need Scrum Master YouTube channel, and together we can Scrum together. Right, so if you have a question, please, I would encourage you to put that in the comment section down below. If you want to interact with me more, you can always contact me via my email, info@ineedscrummaster.com, or you can visit ineedscrummaster.com, and then you can book a section, free consultation, and then we can interact more. Thank you so much for always trusting and visiting me. It is my pleasure. I hope that you find today's content very fulfilling. In the meantime, I hope you stay well, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.